I'm gonna break around, grab whatever I have left to get. I think just a drink. No, put that. Do you want that orange, or do you have to have something?
I got my Powerade. Powerade. Is that what it sounds like, dog?
Sorry, Chris.
It's okay.
It was awful. I can move this stuff too. There's like the movies in here if you want to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Borrow some, whatever.
I don't know.
And then there's a Black Sabbath Paranoid CD in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't got that. I used to have that.
I had it on 8-track though.
I've had an album.
Yeah, I got my money right there in the. Can you just grab it? Yeah.
Here's your CD. It all still needs some work. I don't anticipate releasing 24-hour kitty to anybody anytime soon. I might put it off as a joke, but it's not funny, you know, so it's not really a joke. It's kind of, I mean, it's offbeat. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's completely, and so maybe I'm missing my own point. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, there's this. You bring in an idea, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Now,
Exactly. Sometimes it works.
So, what did we learn from that? That's the thing, is maybe we should try to figure out what we learned from each one of these things that doesn't exactly succeed.
I had, like three
These
of
are not
the last.
inventions, Mark.
I had like 3 or 4 of the last ones, that I had done. Is 47 the one we did finished, or is 46? I can't remember. One of the 2 that we finished. And it's okay. I mean, some of the things are okay. They're not bad necessarily. I don't know what you call them. See if I put this in the right shot there. Fanta owes us some money, goddammit. I told you about Fanta, didn't I?
Germany. World War
It's
II.
Hitler thing. They didn't have Coca-Cola. So they had to come up with something. Pretty wild.
Old Adolf. This is that pretty thing.
Yeah, we got this one done. So that is 47. Is there a name for it? Tiffany's a little overbearing.
That thing is fucking excellent. Just what the fucking bizarre piece of music needs to keep it, because it's otherwise really meandering blues, the meandering ragtime. I don't know what you call it. It's a real slow drag. So they used to call this after midnight dance. They call it a slow drag.
Kind of sounds something to me like David Lynch would use. another one joins the crowd.
This poor guy playing fucking wood block is getting really sad. He's getting sad.
Sidewalk music, huh? Time goes by fast on me.
Who's in the kitchen with the bass? You want that?
Yeah, but there was a hornet at the bottom of that.
Oh, is that?
That's why I had it covered and I killed him with some water.
Oh, okay.
He was in here. I heard him. I heard him, so I got him with this.
Why is that bass in the kitchen with a piece of paper over it? Like, look at this.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Let's go on a bit.
Well, I got really tired. I was thinking something. I thought we were going to do something else, so I just. Yeah, the guitar pick for some reason backed off. I don't know why I did that.
That cue? It sounded like I might have just done a cue. I'm not sure.
It's over. Okay, guys. Party's over. Party's over. It's time to go. Goodbye. Party's over. There's always one reveler left for it. There's always somebody standing there going, "Hey, it was the best time I ever had. Hey, the best time we were around here. You know, that is the best time we had." Last reveler at the party. That's the name of the song, Last Reveler.
Sidewalk music.
I was playing Chris. It's time we had.
Yeah, sidewalk music, Last Reveler is great.
Well, that music sounds, because it's a lot like that piece of music we did, Homeless Bound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
It's horrible.
Naming a piece of music Homeless Bound.
Yeah. Homeless. I didn't even think about it until you just said it.
It's kind of a mean thing, not necessarily
Yeah.
trying to. It was more of a joke, but on the title, because most of the time, a lot of our titles on songs are really jokes on
Well, yeah,
inside
it
jokes.
should be.
Lots of inside jokes,
Yeah.
or for whatever reason. Instrumental music is the hardest to title.
Quantify and qualify?
You need to title or to,
To give it
oh,
reason.
nice, got a nice view.
You can watch it on your computer.
Yeah, do you want me to, I don't know, I guess, where's my, do you want me to get rid of that? Like move this out of the way?
No, huh?
Okay.
I thought about it though.
Yeah.
For more than one reason.
Yeah, really.
So it goes out of tune as you're playing it. It's kind of bizarre. It's like, how does that happen? You know?
What did you find from? How much did it cost?
$10?
Something like that.
Has a great
Metronome.
metronome. Okay, so 46 is done too then. Oh.
I thought we got rid of this distorted guitar. We put on a clean guitar.
I need to redo that without a doubt.
There we are.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
revelry won't leave.
I think I'd rather do that. It's a lot better. And I had a little bit to it, so it's First it sounds like the percussion's too loud, and at the end it's not. Even close enough to be loud enough almost.
Crystal Blue Persuasion guitar sound there.
Reminds me of God, I can't think who it is. See, this is not something Sharp could have ever done. Any version of Sharp. You know? There's pretty much guttural garage music, almost all of it. I mean, we did Breath Right there, but that was pretty much the extent.
Feel the breeze.
Yeah. I mean, there was no exploration with the bass player.
Oh,
You know, Michelle,
knew I could have. Actually, she could have. I would have thought she would have excelled on a piece like this. She should have.
yeah.
Fun to play. I don't know. I know a lot of people wouldn't want to play it because they don't like that. They don't like that chords, that kind of music, you know, loungy chords, whatever you want to call it. Does this sound a lot like this piece of music? Doesn't it sound a lot like you said, Pat Metheny, with your Spyro Gyro,
Yeah.
John Schofield type thing? Well, he's a huge influence. If you listen to music like Pat Metheny, he's probably going to influence you.
I really like when you listen to either one of the sides and it sounds like there's nothing but rhythm. You can't figure out when you sit in the middle and there's the lead. Like right here. And sometimes it sounds like it's coming out of this speaker.
Ghosts.
Okay, that's good. We don't have a name on that one either. As I was first listening to it, I thought Breathe Easy would be kind of a neat name for it. But that's not really, it's not exactly the
I'm trying to think. It's funny, that's not the usual thing we have a problem with, is naming.
yeah, I don't want to just call it Song 46. Of course, it could be Song for the 6th. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
For the 6th.
For the 6th.
The 6 who?
For, oh, take a minute.
Alright.
This is good. I like this Song for the 6th. There it is. Song for the 6th. There's just enough letters there, spaces to do it. Okay, Song 45 is Why 45. The one before this, Presidential Conversations. One before that is Wrong 43. The one before that is Take 3. one before that is 3 or more.
3 or more.
I don't know.
Take 3 and then 3 or more.
Got a lot of numbers on
We also had
sets,
three-way.
shapes and numbers.
And we also
Yeah.
had 3-way. How many songs with 3 in them are we gonna have?
Was John involved? Was John involved in this?
It's your turn.
That's pretty bad.
Take a whiff of Jif here, Mark. Check out this bud I brought up. This is that hash weed.
Is it any better? Is it as good as or any better
It's
than?
good. Doesn't cost
That's,
us.
that's interesting. It smells. Okay, this is finished. Really? I can't imagine that.
Okay, that is done.
It is a 3-way. Give my arms a second to rest there.
Just return it forever.
Et al. Is before that, not yeah, et al. Then Illusionati. We finished that. We did, didn't we? Whatever that means. Your turn. Shape 36. Hero.
That's
So let's not ship 36, because, I mean, it's off.
Oh.
It's finished because it's got a name, I think.
Yeah, that's what it's just weird, man. It's one of the weird ones.
Yeah, one of the weird ones, exactly.
Well, okay, this whole batch has got some stuff fucking going on. That's,
This may be the last time we get to hear these ones. These ones.
a bunch of bizarre ass stuff is what it is. We've been departing from songs to the point of writing a song that's about if I had a song to sing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had a song to sing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was shape.
It's definitely
Well,
different.
the thing is each line we were playing on that piece of music, Mark, was in a different time signature, and each one carried, like for example, one was going 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you had one that was going 1, 2, 3. Then you have the ones that's going clear up the whole scale, da 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 da, 24 notes. And it has to play a lot faster to get it inside that bar. So they're all each one of these things is in.
Because it measured out to everything measured out to being 24 at the end. That's all fucking hard shit there, man. That's fucking math school. We got a new number between 7 and 8. This is. Cops at the door.
Oh, okay, let's see. Cops at the Hey, you!
That rocks. That was behind that thing. Look at that. Love it. So it's interrupted constantly. Yeah.
Cops at the door. Oh wow.
There's some authority right there.
Tonight or last night? New Cops. New episodes of Cops.
The what?
New episodes of Cops on.
Oh, really? Last night? Or tonight?
Or that it's either last night or tonight.
I think it's tonight. I love cops. And I like jail too. I still don't understand why they don't go cops, jail, court, same people. They all go to court, they all go to jail.
It's just like the
Follow them all the way
Law and
through.
Order now follows the whole
Yeah, follow them all the way through the damn thing.
follows every part of the cops
Did the
involved.
lockup.
That's again, they show the real people on lockup that are.
Think about the fact that the first cop episodes were back in the 80s. You should be able to follow up on those people that got busted and see what happened in their lives.
I saw a good one I almost got away with it the other day. It's the best one I've ever seen. Well, there's two real good ones, and they're both people who are no longer in prison. They got out. One was the guy who stole pot in the 70s. He got busted, but he got away. They stayed away for fucking 20 years. They finally caught him. He does fucking 1 year in federal penitentiary, and they let him go. And he's just, yeah, well, if he came along to do it all over again, yeah, I believe in marijuana. And the other was this guy who did one-armed robbery. They stayed away for 7 years. They caught him, and he only ended up doing a few years instead of 30, 40 years.
I wonder how many of these people that are on the first 48 were ever on caught in the first place.
Well, I'll tell you what, there one that
The first 48.
was one we watched. That it was one of the very first episodes. The guy that they found dead was prosecuting someone a couple of weeks earlier. There's a witness a few weeks earlier.
Murda is his name. He's one of them.
Very cool. The first episode, so you're going up.
Murda. And then it had it written on the walls of the place where R.I.P. Murda.
And it's like,
So it turned out all those people were really scared to death of him.
well, yeah, they were scared of him, but also because his friend got murdered. They all were killing each other.
I thought it was over. There's a trick for you.
Well, this is following up what happens when the cops are at the door.
That's a long goddamn song.
How many minutes is it?
It's already at 4:36, so. I mean, it's not one of our longest, without a doubt, but it's long enough. Higher Life, Robert's song, Lost 31. Oh, that's right, Lost 31, that's the thing that's kind of like miniature.
Oh, wow. Miniature type song.
24-hour kitty, missed it by that much.
Missed it by that.
The wheel's the one we got to work on. Hired in Harlem, we got that one done finally. Owen 26, let's go save that. Harmonica, song 24. Let's see what it is. Might put a name on it. Call the child a name, you name the child, right? You know what they say?
I got you.
Kid's not done whatever this one is, song 24. Very dramatic, but doesn't go anywhere at all. That's right. So it's nice to have something dramatic like that. Two dogs is for that touchdown. You know, I'm wondering. I'm not gonna say it on camera. we could do all the background vocals
Okay, Mark.
and whispering.
All I can say is,
It's a hit, man. It's a fucking hit. That's
here's
the
my
thing.
only problem. Is
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me too.
I thought, man, okay, think about put the high voices on the on the mixing, so the thing you can octave double.
So I thought about that.
But one time Austin called me on the phone and he used an octave doubler thing that they so you can get a feminine voice supposedly. It sounded like some kind of faggot.
Yeah,
that's the last
we don't
phone
want that.
call I
You're
ever
right.
wanted
That,
to have,
you're right.
right?
You are right. You shouldn't have said that, but okay.
I'm sorry I put it that way. I don't usually say things like that, but it's because it was the times. It was the times. It was back before it was okay to be gay.
Okay to be gay.
I had lots of gay friends, even though I said that. Okay, we'll clarify that.
You want to shovel with this, or?
I'm just digging it
You're
deeper
going
and
farther
deeper,
and
so I
farther.
can go inside. I better shut up.
Pretty good, yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm already dead, fucking, for that one.
Let's see, touchdown. Yeah, see, you're right, but you're right. I don't want to have that. Yeah, you're right.
There's some things I'm just not. I am not David Bowie.
Yeah.
Or Iggy
No, I
Pop
don't
or
have
Lou
that.
Reed.
I don't have that kind of temperament, man. Not at all.
I'm not quite there.
Not that there's anything wrong with him.
Not
Not
that
at all.
there's anything wrong with that. Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. That's wrong right there. That's just wrong. Oh, it's complete. Yeah, I can't see what it is with it. Guess one. Beautiful. Ooh, okay, okay. I feel like I'm at Joyland and I had too much to eat.
Was it
Louis,
Finding Louis?
yeah, that's Louis.
That's Finding Louis.
Finding Louis.
Complete, like a just telling Kathy inside joke.
Yeah, no doubt. Inside that guy's attic.
See, that's as far as you can use. That's how far inside that joke was, is inside someone else's attic.
Sitting there at the table. Like he's waiting for dinner. Man. That's just fucked up. That really is.
I don't know, man. That sounds like Wichita for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
I can imagine. One of those mansions with.
we finished this? I think it's the one that we got to remix because everything is. All you hear is the guitar and the rest of it all.
There's this huge background there, but.
I love the Oz. because it's like something we did before, just like one of the other songs. I think it seems like, see, the bass part's almost disappeared here. It's not because I brought it down. I wonder if it's worth remixing. If we can do anything else with it to make it.
Well, it's an incredible deep amount of background parts that went into it. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Who
lots.
knows?
Let's see what else.
Dun 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 dun.
Then Andover. Coffee
That's a
song.
great fucking song, Andover.
Yeah. Then the coffee song, then welfare song. Song 14.
That's a long time back.
Yeah, we're got a lot of stuff done here. A whole bunch of that first batch of stuff was all done completely. Which is pretty nice. Or at least done as far as up to the first mix. Okay, this one is nothing at all's on. Okay, so that's great.
Oh, blank.
Yep. What will be me, you, and I. Then the Quint song. There it is. That's the end of where we're at. Me, you, and I. What will be? What is what will be? I mean, we didn't do Que Sera, Sera, right? Even though I thought about that a lot. That's one song I thought a lot about, and so was When Johnny Comes Marching Home. I think we ought to do that. I think it's a great song.
Johnny.
Maybe do it real slow. You know.
Johnny got his gun. There's a lot of stuff that's old, like that Stephen Foster songs and stuff that are all have long gone into
Public domain.
domain. You can copy them all you want. And actually, I just started doing that a long time ago. The ones that are easy to play on guitar are things that are in one chord, like Frere Jacques. Learning how
Yeah.
to play that on an A
Yeah,
and
you've done
a
that
D.
where you got the round going on your guitar.
I did it a whole bunch of different songs.
Mm-hmm.
Figured out, different chords. Figured out how to do that. And then there's a Sentimental Journey and the other one both use the same melody. As I was walking down your highway. This is your land. Oh.
This is what will be. I like that.
Oh, that's genius. Beautiful. That's burst right
I love it. The
there.
first time that starts, it fakes you out.
I love this right there. That's fucking cool. I love the feedback from the other side. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Main theme. It's the main theme. I love it.
Two of them going on in different directions at once. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mark. That's if you want to get clean, move to fucking Wichita. You can get clean there.
Yeah.
There's drugs there, but I'll bet you can get clean there.
Fuck yeah.
There's
First 2 weeks, you're not going to want to come out of your hotel room. That's like
Oh, have you ever seen that movie? It was on last weekend.
supposed to be 87 degrees there tomorrow.
Last weekend, the movie about Chuck Barris. The
Oh yeah, I love
Dangerous
that.
Mind.
Yeah, Confessions of a.
Did you ever watch it? I watched it.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was on
Seen that one, I've
last
seen the
weekend.
one.
I watched it. Yep.
Have you seen the one where it's about Hogan's Heroes guy?
Oh,
That's a great one.
but the fact that he says that he was actually a secret spy and he would go to different cities on dates as a chaperone
He says that.
in the movie. That he was a chaperone, but he was actually doing spy stuff.
Yeah. But we don't know.
Well, some of the stuff is like, there's some fucking people in the government, CIA, that got very upset about the movie. And I don't know if they're upset because he made fools of them or because
He's giving away their secrets.
there's things he shouldn't have said.
Yeah. He's definitely.
A shady, weirdo character person that everybody loved him. Except for the people who hated him.
Lots of crazy folks involved. This is good.
And what trumpet notes going? Fuck. That sounds like Sid Barrett voices right there.
That's fun.
When it comes to its finale, it becomes very fun. Just more fun. amazing how loud a car is.
So I don't think we finished this. If we did, it's not. Or maybe we didn't. Not bad, I guess. It's kind of weird.
Yes!
I didn't know we'd finish this thing.
It's beautiful. Oh, I love your theme. What do you call that, a hook?
Just keep coming back in, yeah. Because all it is just playing the same thing as the da 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 da. It's playing ding, ding, ding. I love that. And you do it too, so it's fun. That's okay, we did it justice. I didn't realize we finished it.
Sing this one to Philip.
Huh?
Sing this song to Philip. It sounds sentimental.
Oh, that's beautiful. I did that. That's cool. Got away with it. Strangle that bitch. That's good. That's
But
good.
that's beautiful. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun.
I don't think we did anything on the quintology. We started thinking about it, and we just never. Cause we need to have a live band to do it justice. I mean, we could do it. We could do it and have it all like mechanical, but that's not supposed to be mechanical at all.
Well,
I mean, it can be mechanical if you do each one of the things separately, but it's supposed to be a fucking piece.
I've found that the piece itself had some flow problems as time went by. That the things I learned out of writing that piece of music, I learned how to do a lot of transitions. God, you don't need to be jamming that long on that.
Huh?
You don't need to be playing on that long on that piece of part.
It's what?
That doesn't need to go that long right there. It's ridiculous.
It's only a minute and 30 seconds. But yeah, it's, that's what we did on that. Except for that part that we didn't do.
We jammed on that riff.
Yeah, it's a little long. But if we take out, or if we end it, and it's almost like doing Quintology like we did Trilogy, one piece at a time, and we never finished the third piece. I guess we did the best finally, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did.
No, did we do Prejudged?
We did do Prejudged.
Yeah, I came in looking fancy, that's right, we did do that. Did we do the best?
Might have, not remember.
I think it was just we tried and we did it, but it wasn't
We did, but it didn't.
wasn't happening, man.
Well, it
just
wasn't.
happening.
It wasn't. It's kind of like it really fits in a piece, but it's
Yeah.
by itself. It starts out with a kind of guitar solo, but it's a solo that bridges two songs together. So it's kind of like sometimes they do used to do on T95. They cut the middle of the song from Tommy. You know, they cut
They also
something
did
out,
it here.
right? But they cut it out from a song would be in the middle of some rock opera or whatever, and then or like the laughing would be happening coming from the last track, and you're going, why'd they do that?
Yeah.
Or then they also started playing the beginnings of songs that a lot of times you'd never heard on the hit version, you know, the album version of songs.
Yeah.
Like Maggie May had that long fucking guitar thing in the beginning, and you're going like, I've never heard this.
Yeah.
Oh, I never had that album.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that?
See,
Psychedelic.
there's one of the guys that was got into the Hall of Fame just last night. Bill Arston, I think that's his name. I think. And it's funny that he hasn't been in so far. He wrote "Piece of My Heart," right?
Right.
You ever heard that song?
Oh yeah.
What else do you think he might have written? He also wrote "Hang On, Sloopy." He turned Neil Diamond into a star when he turned to management.
You know, times.
I'm trying to think of the other songs.
I got it.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm close.
Get past the obstacle course.
Yeah. This one.
What's that, dog? Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not there now. Kathy was here. I think she's still there.
She.
I don't knock on Dave's door now. You never know, he might come out with something and hit you in the head. Are you the guardian here? Hmm? The guardian dog. See, I saw that when I was sitting here. I knew I had to be careful. I didn't feel like it anyway. But it's okay now. So that's 2 minutes and 18 seconds right there where it ended.
That's weird.
And it's almost like, okay, we could go ahead and,
We'll do the song Mary Jane as a song.
yeah.
That's an odd idea, except I didn't like anything I was playing there. It was like drivel.
Well, no, we could finish it. I mean, 2 minutes is a 2-minute song. You know, that's not bad. We could,
Yeah, that's
and we could go ahead and take everything that's off of it that's not integral. Do the verses. Go ahead and do your verses on it, and do a outro at the end. You know.
Yeah. Except it's boring. It's
Not really, not really. Especially when you think about this. Think about the fact that it's legal here now.
Oh yeah.
See, so you could even do different verses.
Actually, some the lyrics don't have to say about drive me insane because it don't drive me insane.
Oh yeah, it does mean that we can't go anywhere out of this state. Basically, you could go to
Still
Oregon.
insane.
We can go to Oregon,
It's
California
better than
next year.
drain. Better than drain alcohol.
Yeah, there you go. Wish I could drink again.
Oh, man, not me. I'm glad I don't drink. Man,
But no, I enjoyed.
oh, I did. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy what I was
Drinking,
drinking.
drinks. I enjoyed
Well, I
certain drinks.
I couldn't drink until I was 30. You know, until I moved out here, I really couldn't drink.
Well, see, and my days were way over by then.
Right, but I really did enjoy drinking in my 30s.
I enjoyed the shit
And
out
not
of
drinking lots.
18.
What I liked is not drinking lots, and because of the few times I drank a lot, I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Do not like pounding them. I like having 3 or 4 beers and relaxing.
I liked all phases of it.
Oh, the thing is I'm glad that I didn't drink heavy when I was a young guy. Because I might have done damage, or I might have, like in high school, I might have been as dangerous as, I don't know who.
I mean, like,
'Cause when I was with Greg
when
Gomez-
I should have been in high school. I was drinking.
When I was
instead.
with Greg Gomez, we went out and we committed quite a few
I
vandalism.
know. Oh, me and Greg Gomez did quite a bit ourselves. too.
You-
Right, Greg? You remember those, don't you?
all I can say is we were bad boys.
It was me and Greg that. There's the 2 things that stand out for me that night.
Someone's at the door.
You want to get it this time?
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
get it. Go ahead. I'll get it.
Pot on my lap. Man, gotta hide the pot before the cops get here, man. Cops at the door, man.
And cops at the door. Exactly.
Uh-oh. Having a regular Dave convention here this morning.
Is he? Where is he?
Probably in his room.
Hey, Dave.
money, man.
Dave's not here.
Dave? Dave's not here.
Your friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Scare me. You come back out and wondering, dude, come back up the stairs with a gun.
Vic Juris scare me.
You know what?
Old radio show. Vic Juris scare me. And you have people call in and just try to scare him. It's the whole fucking thing. He was on Saturday Night Live. He was on set. It was on. I was tripping on acid. And it came back and it showed him a fucking knife through his fucking head.
Brilliant.
Halloween.
You know, I enjoyed, I mean, I look back on it. I enjoyed the night that I had to carry Joe Walker over to the house. And that was, as a matter of fact, that's really comical when I think about it, because I left him there.
Well,
Hey, was Kathy here? I mean, you guys.
yeah,
I thought she was in there with you.
No,
she disappeared, I guess.
Is she not in the bathroom?
no, she's fucking gone.
May take a walk. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
Why so?
confused. She doing laundry?
no, she took off in the Jeep somewhere.
Oh,
I thought I heard the truck. That was what we heard start up.
I didn't hear it. I wasn't paying attention to it anyway.
I don't have any I don't have any young escapades of being drunk and doing. I didn't do anything like that. I didn't need
There was the real early ones, like where I don't remember who all was with us.
Well, the thing is, like,
Up there at
getting
the
away
pool.
with things, you know.
Up there at the College Hill pool. I don't remember who all it was, but there were some girls. I don't know if it was, but I remember Dawn was there, Speck, and I think Alvin was there. And I remember I put my hand back to lean up against the telephone pole there by College Hill Park. And when I put my hands back, I set them on crushed glass and cut my hand open.
I do remember we were partying over at Alvin's house, and Joe Walker fell asleep.
No, I was over at Randy and Teddy's house. Yep.
And
He fell asleep in his hand, and he was sleeping. And so the first thing we did was we put shaving cream in his hand and then tickled his nose.
Yep.
And woke him up. And he passed out again, and we tied a soup bone to his
I
wrist.
didn't see you do that. I swear I saw you do that over at Alvin's house, because I never was over at Teddy's back then.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, well, I saw something like that. I thought it was.
Yeah, you were there.
What's his name passed out, and Don passed out, and we had to fucking put mustard down his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Took it over to some pills. That was absolutely no fun. I'm glad the fucking cops came and took me to home. Back to school.
Wasn't the Wawa house, wasn't that on Green? Was that on Green? Second and Green?
You mean Hotel Wichita?
Yeah, that's what it was. That's called the Wawa house because of that story about her
Wawa.
being there. And he lifts up the thing and says, "Here, you want some of that?" No, I'm glad I didn't go over there. I only went over there 2 times. One time to drop you off, and the other time was to pick up your amplifiers.
There's a room
Yeah,
with a
that's the
stove
stairs.
and another room and a bathroom.
Yeah. I remember that fucking
2
nasty
beds in
place. All them people there, I mean, it's all the scrubs, Rob Deans, Kevin Schultz, all of them.
Kevin
like
didn't live there with
that
Eric.
They were all
John
there,
Navarrete.
though. Yeah, there you go. Eric and John Navarrete.
But they all were having sex, and John would just fucking sit there and stare at her.
I remember that. I remember
She's
John
like,
talking about
she
that
fucking
too.
offered it, he wouldn't do it. And I'm going like, she offered himself to me, and I was like, I No, 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 no.
That was on Green, wasn't it? Or was it Volusia?
Just one. It's the first block east of Grove, so that's Volusia, isn't it? Is that?
No, that would be the Old Grove.
Yeah. The old Grove.
Yeah, because the Grove's not really there anymore. It's George Washington Boulevard.
The
It's,
way it is on. Bizarre, they changed it right there on in front of East.
mm-hmm.
There's like an alley where the houses all were.
Yeah.
They made it a 2-lane street and all that.
Used to be a
And they also got rid of the bridge where George Washington was.
yeah.
They got
It's
rid
sad,
of
but
it.
they said all the stuff they did.
The school is Metro. It's still there though.
Mm-hmm.
But that was neat the way that. There's not very many three-way interchanges in Wichita. They got rid of one of them by doing that.
By doing that, yeah.
But
sad.
it's almost like gentrification.
Yeah.
It also cut people off in a way that used to have access
No, gentrification,
to the
exactly
side
what
of
it
the
is.
city. By
Didn't
cutting
call it that back then. That
They
was
cut the city in half.
50 years ago, 40 years ago.
Cut the
50
city in
years
half.
ago when they started all those projects. You know, it's hard to imagine. What was 50 years ago? 66, that's more than 50 years ago. Fuck.
Okay, it was finished 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yep,
They
everything
finished
was-
it
Mhm.
in actually 77. They opened the entire thing in Wichita in 77. But they didn't finish Kellogg until after we were out here. They actually
Yeah.
didn't finish the entire thing
They're
until
still not
after.
done yet.
Exactly.
And they're still working on the East Kellogg part.
Well,
And West
of course,
Kellogg,
they
I'm sure.
never are going to have an east highway going east-west. That would cost way too much. And it's because the whole thing.
You know, they got it now
Fucking
where they got some kind of a, I don't know what the hell's going on. You know, like I was telling you the other day, how Wichita's now, it's Wichita and vicinity, of course. And that's a 368,000. And then there's,
Well, it was
The
286,000 for the longest time, and
yeah,
but it was. I thought it was around 300,000 when we moved here.
yeah, it was. It was over 320 or something like that.
It might have been, but the thing is that it still said 286,000 on the
Well,
fucking
but the
sign.
funny thing is that, well, see, that's Wichita itself, but Wichita and vicinity is 368.
Right.
And now they've got the Wichita that includes Winfield and fucking Ark City.
Coffeeville,
Yeah, you know, like now we're going to count this as part
Medicine
of
Lodge.
Like fucking nuts. Clear out to Winfield and what's the other one out there?
Oh man.
We went out there one time. We were going out there with Kevin Williams, or was it? We were going. The car broke down. Wasn't Winfield, was it? It's the other one. Other one that's out there starts with a W.
Ark City.
Winfield. Okay, you go from Wichita to Derby to Mulvane to Udall.
Udall, the town that disappeared.
And that's what's after that is where did Rick go to jail? Was it Winfield? No, it was the other one. Why can't I think of the other one? Where do they have the Bluegrass Festival? Is that Winfield?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of voices. You always gotta be wondering what's going on out there. Probably. Usually it's people playing tennis. There I go. Kansas map downstairs.
Winfield and the other one. Winfield and Wick City. Why can't I think of it?
Tell you that place is fucking.
Well, I know now then that we've got to go ahead and make sure we have all these downloaded and get a couple of CDs of all of these. We can go ahead and do the let's try this again, see what it sounds like again. Like, if we turned it into a song, how many verses are there? 2.
Okay. Change. Mark, I was wondering about this whole time, this whole thing about the drugs, you know, how people were all getting sober and everything during the 80s, and I was wondering the whole time, what was the problem? Now, Keith Richards in his book doesn't fucking get this thing with cocaine. He says it's not addictive.
No, no, it's not.
But I mean, he says he doesn't understand the problem. He doesn't stand, like he says.
Well, it's because he doesn't do anything every day, basically. He knows better. He doesn't even drink every day.
Not now.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Did he put on was it, after a while, was it just an act of being Keith? Because he wasn't a drug addict for a long, long time. He hasn't used heroin since
see,
the 70s.
I know of people that are over 60 years old and still indulge in serious alcohol daily,
Consumption.
and they do cocaine
Right.
quite often, and,
Gotcha.
and any other drugs that comes along to do. Except for this, of course, this is the bad stuff.
Gotcha. Oh,
Unlike pot smokers, are lazy. Sorry, we're not really.
but I got you. Well, the funny thing, there was talking about that Keith, why the concert that they did, he wasn't that good. And it was because he says, well, that's because they finally convinced me to stop doing coke before every show. Because it was so hard to come down off of it at the end of the show. I'm going to, when he was in his 60s, they had to get him to stop doing coke before the show. So I'm like, hey, cool. I'm proud that you fucking, well, he hasn't had the heart surgery or anything. He's not,
No.
man, I've got to go, this guy, you know, I don't know how they made this guy so tough. I don't know how some people are that lucky.
Yep. Well, he it's not that he was never abusive with it, but he, you know,
Did something right.
did do incredible amounts. He wasn't one of those guys that did incredible amounts. He did stuff every day, you know.
Well, apparently the heroin, though, was really a horrible period in his life. You know, it's interesting because some of the great music of his period, of his career, I think the 70s and the Stones. That's some dark music, but fucking I like it.
I like everything from 66 until 80, basically. And probably a little bit into the 80s.
Well,
I like a lot of the stuff in the 80s, don't get me wrong.
I like
but
the 80s
but some of the 80s
actually,
stuff,
it's not as dark as the
no,
actually some of it's
too much partying, dancing in the street shit, you know. I mean, there was the good stuff too, Undercover of the Night and shit like that, but most of it was that dancing in the
One
street
of my favorite
shit.
songs, Waiting on a Friend.
Yeah, that's a great song, but there was so much of that stuff
I
that
know.
was just...
A guy, you know, when they first came out with one of their songs, I remember that on T95 they said, it sounds like the Stones been partying a little bit too much.
Yeah, exactly. You know, have they done a song? I mean, they can't do a song like such and such anymore. I mean, you can't. You can't do a song like that. What do you mean do a song like that? What the fuck does that mean? You know, Can't they do a song like Brown Sugar again? What do you mean, do a song like Brown Sugar? What the fuck
Well, that
does
was
that
from
mean?
an era, and there's the whole fucking.
Well, it's
bunch
not
of
just that.
records.
I'm just going with all these other things in my head. You know?
Well, how do you? Okay, take Chicago.
Yeah.
They've gone through their change. How could they do another record like the 8th album?
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not those people.
The same people aren't there. It's not the same group. It's not the same vibe. It's not any of it.
Now, how could they expand on what they've been doing and make it more? No,
Well, every
not
band,
more.
all
Not more.
just be more Chicago. That's all they need to do is be more Chicago. Hey, you guys want to come up and record here? You can, you know. Be pretty easy. It'll be like the old days where 7 of you all sleeping in the same room.
All that record, that more recent record they did was like that. Their most recent album, where they did it all on the road,
Yeah.
but they all recorded
Now.
like we're recording
Mhm.
on the computers.
Yes.
I really love that. Matter of fact, I'm impressed with anybody who can. I'm actually. I've never been on the road, so I can't say. The ones who say they can't compose on the road.
I think that's kind of, you're limiting
Have you
yourself by
seen how
saying that.
How prolific Brian Setzer was.
Yeah.
He put out fucking like, I don't know, 20 albums in just this century. He's fucking ridiculous. Solo albums, he's got his orchestra. Some of these famous people are really prolific, and I'm actually proud of them, because some of the people who are the big deal people, like, I used to hate, like Def Leppard puts out 5 albums in their entire career.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong? You got 30. Come on,
Well,
you got
it's like
to
now that people are saying that, yeah, now
I might have
Iron
liked
Maiden
it
and
with
Judas Priest should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, why not? Why isn't Judas Priest? Or they should be in this. They're from the 70s. They're very popular.
Yeah.
They're heavy metal bands. If Metallica
Well,
is
the
in,
whole reason, the whole thing is, to me, okay, is all these people back in the day would get in your face about Judas Priest, real tough, and call you a sissy because you listen to Queen. What's wrong? You gay? You queer?
Well,
You listen to Queen. What's wrong with you? And they didn't find out until the 80s that, guess what?
Rob Halford's gay. Oh, darn it.
And I used to think back then, I thought, well, hold it.
Well,
You guys are all into that leather and stuff?
The
Do you-
bondage stuff,
get it?
you were hip to it that I was not hip to it at all.
Yeah.
I had no idea that bondage. I thought it was biker
I wasn't
bondage.
hip to it. Let's not quite put it that way.
You knew what they were talking.
Yeah.
You knew what he was about,
Yeah.
and I was. And also the English people were like,
Dancing around like this, just a little bit.
they're gay rock band. This is truly satanic rock, you know.
Yeah, really, it's a real satanic rock.
All I know is that I learned how to play the song without never seeing a picture of them. I learned how to play their song "Victim of Changes."
What are you saying? The whole 4 songs, four
And well,
chords?
the guys saw me in the park and they said, "Hey man, you've got a flying V. You know how to play any Judas Priest?" I said, "I've never heard of them." So I went over to their house and they taught me how to use that band Shadowfax. Learned how to play a whole bunch of, and the kind of pretty much Decadent Truth is from learning how to play that song. 'Cause I that chord, man, those chords bother the dog. The dog sit up and look.
What's the next one?
B.
Straight B? Once again, it's another song has to be done live, has to be
We've got a
worked
recording
on.
of it. It took us
Yeah, it's
forever
horrible.
to get it.
It's horrible,
It's
though.
good.
It's
just
bad.
it took us forever to get it.
It's bad. It is not. It's not, just like Mr. President says we come by and the live version with the other version, and it's just bad.
Very strange.
Yeah, they just don't work. I mean, they're out there. They're definitely out there. I mean, we can say we put it out, but it's not like, you know, it's nothing like what we could do with a band. I would love to be able to do that. But I mean, the thing is that first of all, here's the thing. Even if we had, you know, 5 other people, 6 other people over here occasionally to work on stuff, do I want to work on old stuff?
What about if there are people who have their old stuff, their
That's what I'm
old
s-
stuff or their new stuff?
Exactly. I don't want to. I'm not work. I don't. I'm not wanting to retread anything. I mean, you know, it's like if somehow some thing came along and said we want to hear your old stuff, da 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 da, and they had the money and they, you know, whatever.
The
then
one thing
it'd
I
be
am,
different. But
again, with my solo guitar thing, is I've taken several of my pieces and finally made them into solo pieces.
Mhm.
But do I want to finally play this song right? Oh God, you know.
oh, definitely. That's
But
different.
do I want it? Well, okay. The thing is, if there's a chance of doing an actual show of all the music of our music, really great, of take our greatest hits and play them live. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd like to go through all of our CDs and find all the good pieces that are good. 'Cause some music isn't good live.
Yeah.
It's meandering stuff. Sometimes only is good for a little bit. I mean, somehow Pink Floyd was able to get
Unless you're
away
the
with it.
Grateful Dead or the Pink Floyd, yeah.
You know, some bands get away with it live. Seattle's not the scene. Never, the bands weren't meandering bands. They were almost always like heavy or you know. It's interesting to this day because
It's. I was watching a thing about 20 most underrated bands or something. And it's like ZZ Top, and it's like, what? Underrated?
you know, overrated.
What year are you talking about, man?
What do you mean by underrated? I think you're meant to overrated.
And
No, I like ZZ Top, but come on,
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
tell me they're underrated.
That's
They
what I
had-
thought.
They had it's like Linda Ronstadt said the other day about how that she doesn't feel so bad now. She's getting old and she's sick and she wishes she could sing still, but she says she had her time at the trough.
Yep,
Those guys have had their time at the trough.
yep.
Billy Gibbons just put out a new record, and he's the first guy to ever play at Cuba. That was since before the Rolling Stones. He played at Cuba a few months ago and made
Did
a
he?
record. Yeah, it's really interesting Hispanic
funny.
type record with him totally not with ZZ Top, just by himself. It's good apparently. But the thing is that he was invited by the Cuban embassy to come over as soon as they lifted the embargo or whatever a year ago.
That's hilarious.
He was the first person Cuba asked to go over.
That's
and play.
hilarious that he'd be the first one. You know, it's like, really? Not one of these, not Ricky Martin, you know, or something, you know. That girl, what's her name? And it's Miami Sound Machine? Gloria Estevez?
Estevez.
Yeah, you know, the Estevez.
Yeah, it
It'd
was
be
whatever.
funny. It'd be funny, though. It'd be funny.
Except for-
Why aren't these people? What about those rappers, you know, the Fugees and stuff? Shouldn't they be asked to come over there? You would think they're refugees.
One of the big, one of the big, but no, they wanted something. Apparently, there was something about Billy Gibbons that they knew he wasn't racist or that he had a
He's very-
affinity for the one guy who recorded in Cuba years ago, the acoustic guitar player, not guitar but plays slide, real famous for his slide guitar playing and stuff. Did all those records. Blind in One Eye, he's really great. Damn. But he made a record a long time ago with a famous Cuban guitarist there.
I couldn't think anything because once you said that, I kept thinking, you know, one eye,
This-
left foot was cut off. Goes by the name of Lucky.
Yeah, I didn't know he was blind in one eye until until years. Ry Cooder. He made a record with the over there in Cuba with the guitarist
Oh,
back in the '90s.
wow. How did he get away with that?
I don't know, but he got a Grammy for it and everything.
Wow.
It's one of his Grammys.
I wonder. Well, that's interesting. I'd like to see how that happened because
He's got
that's.
several Grammys,
And he still comes over here. That's kind of strange.
I don't remember I don't know how he did it.
I can't imagine that because
Maybe he.
why did it just come back on? That was weird. It's like.
But that's because he was on. Maybe it was because it was some kind of international
International trading thing or something. Yeah.
folk music exchange.
It must be one of those.
Because he
But yeah,
also
it makes you wonder why it wouldn't be Paul Simon that's invited over.
But he also got to go over to Africa to a place that nobody gets to go, and play and made an album with that Al Thacker or Hassan or whatever, some singer that was the greatest black folk singer, and he did an album with him over there. He also fucking went over to fucking some country in Afghanistan or someplace where white people aren't allowed, and did an album with some fucking guy named Alassane Salah or whatever. I can't remember the two different guys, but the Farak guy and the other guy, they're both people that you couldn't have gone and just said, hey man, I'd like to go meet that guy, because they're not even allowed out of their own country, because they're not allowed to go from one country to the other. And
Exactly.
they're like literally in prison, all these people are. But he got to go and fucking make records with these people.
Ry Cooder, huh?
So we got to go, and I'm a huge fan of his, because, he had a band with Taj Mahal in the 60s. It was called the Rising Suns, and it was supposed to fucking be a big, it got dropped by the record label. It's supposed to come out at the same time as the Doors. But for some reason they couldn't handle the guitarist and singer
Get
was
overlooked
black.
on that, yeah.
It would be like, what was that band that came out in the 80s? They had the black lead singer that played the acoustic guitar. Rucker.
Darius Rucker,
Yeah.
Hootie.
Hootie and the Blowfish. Kind of a 60s version of Hootie and the Blowfish, but with real rock and shit. There's an article in a book I had. I had a lot of rock and roll music that just never fucking. A lot of great music that were a lot of great musicians that didn't work out. I was reading an article about these guys, Dick Wagner and Steve Hunter, who played with Alice Cooper late after the band, from 75 to 79. They played in the band. Both of them contributed to a lot of people's records as guitar players. People said, well, why don't you guys make a record together? He said every time they tried to, it just fell flat. He said, we seriously tried. But we're just good at backing other people are really good. We're not good at making up stuff. We're not songwriters. We're just fucking really good at being someone's sideman.
I can understand that. I can understand that completely.
When they try to play, they say they tried. I mean, they get together and they fucking tried. And they always they go different directions.
Yep.
And that's what they do. Naturally, when they play with someone else, he says, I play this position, he plays this position. We just go right to these. We play thirds together without even trying.
Yep.
We think in these directions, but if you try to do it right songs, that don't work.
No.
He said, no, let's try that. No, it's going off there. No, it's going there. Two fucking necks.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
I'm anxious to see it was Rob Thomas that inducted Chicago into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
And then he sings on.
Well, I thought that was an interesting band, Matchbox 20. I didn't quite get. They were really big, and then there's like so many of the bands from the 90s.
Well, I did the thing with Carlos.
Well, I actually really liked that. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I didn't want to. It's infectious.
I just loved Carlos's guitar sound.
Yeah.
And the way it was. Well, he's just, yeah, it's one of those things you hate for a long time. At first I thought, oh, this is great, and then they fucking played it to death.
So, I'm so tired of seeing his
Well,
fucking face.
Neil Young?
God damn.
Neil Young, when I saw him in concert in Wichita, he opened it up with saying, one of the songs, he says, you know, you ever heard one of those
Yeah.
songs? It's a favorite song you ever heard. The way Neil Young has that funny, reedy country voice, he says, you've heard that song? You say, oh, I love that song. And they play it to death. He said, I never want to hear that song again.
Here's that song.
This is why I wrote that one of those songs. I'm going to play it for you right here. It did Heart of Gold, which he said was the first time he ever did in concert since it was a hit.
Should have played Horse with No Name, because that's what everybody really wanted to hear.
That was a pretty funny one. Oh, there's a guy that's a collector. There's this vintage guitar magazine I bought the other day, a Guitar Aficionado. He collects famous people's guitars. He's kind of like Hard Rock Cafe, except for he actually buys them. He's got Jerry Garcia is one of his guitars, but he has the SG that was owned by George Harris, and in several of the videos, like in the Rain video. Well, you always wonder, well, whatever happens to George's guitars? Because I know where several of them are. Like some of them are in his wife's possession, some of them are in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Donnie, I'm sure, has some.
So, right. He gave that guitar to Pete Hand.
Oh, really? Wow.
And that's the SG he's playing.
Wow.
The SG standard he's playing throughout.
Yeah.
And that's
Badfinger.
this guy has that guitar now.
Nice. Makes sense.
But he's got a collection of Beatles guitars. He's got one of it's like
Day after day.
They were saying which songs he played that particular guitar on. I always wondered though, because those guys, watching those 70s videos, they're playing a whole bunch of different guitars, and I'm wondering why. And I found out that what's his name has some of the guitars. He was able to keep some of his guitars. Read that in the magazine years ago. He wasn't able to keep all of them. But what happened was several times they owed money to the finance company and they just came and picked up the equipment. That's what happened to their fucking Vox amps or whatever, the orange. Or the other thing is sometimes they go over, and there's a studio in the Netherlands where they do shots like where they had the orange amplifiers. It was for all of Europe, like for like their bandstand show or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had to play the orange amps because that's all there was. You know, they didn't get to bring their amps with them. At the time, back in the 70s, they had different currents and voltages all over the fucking place.
Right, exactly.
And some people, Fender made this cool thing that they had on export-only amps that had an attenuator so you could choose whatever the voltage was for the country.
That's so fucked up.
Right?
That's just so fucked up.
But,
I think they would fuck with the tuning and everything. I mean, you can still tune to A440, so.
but anyway, well, what about if Fender amplifiers, even loud, are a little bit cleaner than a lot of the amplifiers. They have nice distinctive clarity to them. Whereas some amplifiers like Oranges, when you get them above 3, they start to go really grindy. And it's good for heavy metal grind,
Yeah.
but not real good for
Yesterday.
banging out songs. You know, banging out power pop. It starts sounding a little more like punk power pop.
Yeah.
With 2 guitar players, you know.
Yeah.
And a bass player with a distorted bass amp, you know. Starting to sound like more like Mountain with like the beautiful voices trying to sing it.
Yeah, I said one most underrated. Matter of fact, it was number 1. I think was Mudhoney. Pixies were up there somewhere too.
Okay. The only problem is
Because Mudhoney, influenced
I
Nirvana.
love. Okay, they're 25 years ago. They were already okay. A bunch of the Seattle bands belonging at that same time with Mudhoney. If they're not all, well, they're not in
Screaming
yet.
Trees.
Soundgarden has got to be in.
Yeah, they said that too. They mentioned them.
No, they're ready. It's time for them then.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about the most underrated
Oh.
bands.
Oh no,
Mudhoney.
fucking metal. No, it isn't.
I think that's
Bunbury's fucking. They're second rate. But they're influential, but they're not.
not Hall of Fame. No way.
I saw them in
That's
concert.
just a joke, huh?
I've seen them show.
Where'd you see him?
I saw them at Bumbershoot, and I saw them in the big stadium. Again, I saw Motorhead in that stadium. They're the loudest thing I've ever heard. Hurt my ears. I fucking went to the back of the stadium, all the way to the back, and it hurt.
Wasn't that the one you said basically it was like listening to a 57 Oldsmobile starting up all the time?
That's actually Megadeth or no, well, it was Metallica when I saw them, and the Cult when I saw them at the stadium there, the indoor stadium, the
Kingdom?
arena.
Oh,
The
the
arena.
Key Arena?
Yeah, no, that's more like fucking Sonic Boom. They were fucking ridiculously loud, and it was great. But I forgot to bring my earplugs. I'm seriously, that didn't hurt my hearing permanently because it had already been fucked up by years of fucking working.
Exactly.
But it was the only concert I've seen that loud without wearing earplugs since I was in my early 20s. You know, I always made sure if I went to a really loud concert, I wear my either my stage earplugs or shooter plugs that I had from work.
Been voices out there for fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
So let's see if we kept this bunch apart and bounce all this down.
I like your piano work. I don't like the tone. Leave the guitar alone.
What we could do is
Maybe bring
bounce all
the,
this down, and you could just go ahead and riff on the lyrics up until a point, and then, you know, that's the point we're done with that, and just go ahead and play and solo out until the end. Pretty simple to do.
yeah. I have no idea.
That mix is a good mix for a rhythm right there. It's a good mix.
I have no idea. They just had the original lyrics. That was a stretch for me back then. Still is. I am not the lyric writer I'd like to be.
Yeah, you've done some great lyrics.
I know, but
Some really good stuff. The 2 dogs fucking. Don't look at 2 dogs fucking. Yeah. Mary Jane's a good song. We just got to add to it and bring it out to what it should be. I mean, yeah. There's only so many words that you can rhyme with it.
the thing is it's the Muddy Waters riff, but it's almost the same riff as ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Except for this is not as good. It's fucking more basic even. It's more
That's
John Lee Hooker.
That's okay. It gives a lot of room for the lyric. The thing.
Uh,
So why not start it off with? You could even start it off with the first couple of lyrics not being Mary Jane, being marijuana, it's a gone, or something stupid even. I don't know. That's totally a riff there, but the bad one. Yeah, that. But I'm just thinking something.
Well, again,
You could do a list. You hate lists. We hate list songs, right? Pot, hash, hemp, weed, grass.
I was thinking,
We got the grass to kick your ass. It's a weed. Comes from the seed. That's stupid.
it's from the seed.
Are they having a party?
Okay,
What the fuck is going on? What are we missing? What are we missing here? Are we on fire and we're not aware of it? What in the fuck? Don't you disappear. Now here, all the car's taking off. What the hell?
What about the blues? The fact that it's the blues about the fact that we can't go from one place to another. We can always, you can't smoke it, and you can't smoke it in
Was anybody out
public.
there just
You can't smoke it in public. What about if you come to visit? You can't smoke it in public. You can't smoke it. You can't smoke it at the hotel.
yeah.
You can't smoke it in the cabin. You can't smoke on the bus. What do? Mary Jane. She'd drive me insane.
There you go.
Mary Jane and rifle brain. Medicinal pot. Still can't smoke it in public. It's against the law. It's the law.
That's
Better
exactly
than
what
fucking
you think.
alcohol, and it's still against the law.
There you are.
Better than fucking cigarettes, and it's still against the law. They can smoke them and fucking give everybody cancer, and my fucking stuff's medicine. It's still against the law.
There you go.
I don't know how to say it though.
That sounds good right there. Still against the law. Just gotta get rhythm with it. Get your microphone up there. I think it's already hooked up anyway.
Uh-oh.
And that's it there. Yeah.
Always got a couple of chords that have to be harangued here. Move the stand. Here we go. And I got some headphones over there. Yes. Here's my cord.
Yeah, I got the cord right here
Oh,
to plug you in.
there. Get my foot. Where's your foot? Oh, there. Yeah. Jesus Christ. There we go.
Man, it's a crime. It's a shame, Mary Jane, Mary Jane. What a shame, Mary Jane, right? What a shame, Mary Jane, Mary Jane. Yeah.
It's a crying shame. It's still a crying shame. Still a crime. It's a shame. Can't find a place to smoke. Not in public. Not in the hotel. No place to smoke. No place to get high on the legal weed. Oh, Mary Jane, drive me insane. Oh, Mary Jane, you rack my brain. I'm the Mary Jane, I'm going insane. I got Mary Jane, but I can't take it anywhere. I can't leave my state. I can't take and get my friend. You drive me insane. It's still against the grain, against the weed, against the law. any place except for in my own house, but I don't live here. Colorado, Washington State. Y'all think you're better than us. I can't smoke. I can't find a place to smoke. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking here now because I'm getting to a point here because you said some things that make some sense here.
Well, I was thinking
Like,
about.
it's a crime.
I was watching it on that show, Lady Kid, about these people that go to Colorado and they can't find any place to smoke their legal weed, and there's actually some motels.
Yeah, you got some really cool ones up in the mountains, especially.
They're showing these old ladies our age, grandmothers. They're smoking this joint, passing it back and forth. They said, "Wait until our grandkids see this; it's just gonna blow their minds." Well, I'm in total agreement that it should be legalized as opposed to alcohol and tobacco because it's good for you to laugh and it doesn't destroy your liver. Got some phrasing there maybe that I've got.
Yeah.
The original song was so short, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how long ago. I mean, it's been so long that I worked on that idea. But again, there's the whole thing.
See, I'm going, first thing I thought was a crying shame, it's a game, that it's a crime, what a shame. It's a crying shame, it's a game. Because that's what it is, it's a fucking game.
Yeah.
It's a crime, it's a fucking shame.
Crying shame
Do
is a
the
game.
time.
It's crime and a shame.
It's a shame to do the time. Do the time. Go insane. These don't have to go in order or anything, just come up with things. Go insane.
Pain. Ease the pain.
Yeah, that's what I was just sitting now thinking about, to ease the pain. I'm thinking here. And see, the thing is that back when you first came up with the idea, we knew that it eased the pain. See, we knew that. We didn't
I use
think
that
about
term.
We didn't think about the fact that it's actually medicine, because it is.
I never thought about how. Well, like.
You're a prophet, right?
Well, no, the way I thought about smoking pot at the time, when I first started when I was 18, and I became aware Because I fucking had to quit so I could finish high school just because I thought that was what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe it helped not smoking pot because I was too young to smoke pot. I think you need to be an adult, and I wasn't an adult when I was 17. But I'm not saying you kids should go out there and be smoking pot at 17. Be careful. Get arrested. It's still illegal for young people.
I'll tell you what, it
Unless
fucks
it's
your
medicine.
life up. It seriously
And
does.
you want to take medicine?
Not
If
gonna
it's
get a good
medicine,
job.
it's got to be medicine. That's the whole thing. I'm sorry that it has to be that way, but that's the way it is. It can still
Don't
ruin.
ask adults to get it for you, man.
Don't ruin an adult's life either.
And don't smoke your parents' weed, because, you know,
Oh, there's so many things about that. That, you know what? I wish you could keep kids from ever doing drugs or smoking or drinking or anything until they're 21 years old. Then again, I don't think if, in that case they shouldn't be allowed to go to combat until they're 21 either.
on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Where were all the people? Did you see them?
Yeah, just 4 people. They were just walking down the street. Young people. I think they were looking at the house. They thought it was funny.
It sounded like the same crowd that was out here for the longest time, and they're up here for a little bit. And then when we heard them real loud, as you walked down that way, they were going this way. I could hear them. It's like, of course you're going to disappear now. We're going to look like idiots.
It was really hot the other day when I was playing out on the front porch, and this one guy was riding his bike. Apparently, one of these guys, he's just out for a long ride that day, and he sat down over here in the shade, listened to me play for a long time until I finished playing. Interesting. I find it fascinating. Now, it's Lord alcohol.
Just ask a cop about the pot. It's Ryan.
I was thinking about what's his name, Krishna, on the show. He's talking to the cops in Louisiana, and they're just so fucking arrogant.
Who?
Krishna on the show, Wiedekind.
Oh, okay.
He's out talking to the cops about the guy that's in prison for fucking 20 years for fucking 2 joints.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're just so fucking arrogant, and I'm like, you fucking pricks. And they fucking, at this party, they're drinking Everclear, and I'm going, you fucking federal fucking criminals. You fucking federal criminals. And you put someone in jail for fucking, but they're cops, and I'm going like, you corrupt motherfuckers, I'd fucking shoot every one of
See,
you.
the thing is that
Every
the
motherfucker.
problem with it is that the cops are judge and jury. They're not just the, you know.
Against the law, the alcohol, just ask the cop about the pot.
You go back the other way. Start off with just ask a cop about the pot.
There's a cop against the pot, about the pot. It's against the law. It's not alcohol. And here's someone else got arrested. Someone famous got arrested for fucking being stoned while they're driving. Was it a rapper or something?
There's Nicolas Cage got into a fight with Vince Neil.
Really?
You know, right down in Las Vegas.
Was it?
It looks like maybe Vince Neil was really fucked up, and he
Said the wrong
said
thing.
something called a woman some names and everything.
Oh,
So Nicolas Cage stepped in. I guess he hit the woman maybe or something, or shoved her or something. Some person asking for an autograph or something. Nicolas
Oh.
Cage. I think he wasn't really punching him. He just grabbed a hold of him. I think he was just kind of holding him just so he wouldn't do something stupid.
are they friends or are they just?
I don't know. They were just there at
Or
the
they-
same time.
That's interesting. I would imagine. I don't think Nicolas Cage is known to be a violent person or mean to women.
No, he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right. Okay. He's defending them. And Vince Neil. Well, he's a metal guy that's not like.
Well, I guess he's not with Motley Crue anymore, right?
I think he's been with them for
He's
a
not.
long time. But no, they did a farewell tour already a few years ago, like last year, 2 years ago, several years
Yeah,
ago.
so did Kiss, but they're doing another tour this year.
No, this is actually they had an actual. They did a kind of like a Beatles thing. They dissolved their relationship, so they can't work together ever again. Any of them. They did some kind of fucking. They sued each other to where they
Well,
can't.
that's like Bunny Carlos and fucking.
Cheap Trick. They got another. They're another one that's doing that right now.
Well, see, what it was that Rick Nielsen and he had his kids were getting older, and he wanted to stay around the house a little bit more. He didn't want to go out on these fucking 200 and 300 night tours, playing all around the world. He wanted to stay around here, wherever it was. And Carlos wanted to go out and play. He wanted to tour. And so that's why he left the band. So he got pissed off about it. Now they let him play last night with him, in the thing, at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But, it's always been looked at it the other way, like they threw him out of the band. But that's not what it was at all.
He wants to go some. Did he go
Oh,
change his name and go play?
Play with some other band, I don't know.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah.
Bunny Carlos is a pretty fucking strange. It's an interesting pseudonym.
I know, I guess they're not. They let him play and everything, had no problem with that, but they're not going to buddy up and
You're not gonna be
do a
playing
reunion
together
tour or
again.
anything
Well,
like that.
It could be because they're all in their 60s. Not everybody. Well, for example, Glenn
Robin
Fry.
Sanders still sounds exactly the same, everybody said.
Right.
How can he hit those fucking
look at
notes?
Look at Glenn Fry. I would not have thought at 66, 68, 67. He was that sick.
Yeah.
Because most people 67, I thought at this time.
Now
a lot of people-
I see why I had that pained expression all those years.
But if you look at, if you
Well,
just
the
look
drummer
at-
didn't hit that. See, the drummer should have got that. That's a good one, come on. That's why I always had that pained look, that grimace. New Kid in Town.
That's why.
Grace Potter and Sheryl Crow did New Kid in Town last night at the induction.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of cute. Say
Oh, I
goodbye
like
to
her. Grace Potter, I like her kind of.
Grace.
I've always liked Sheryl Crow.
Was it Grace and the Mechanics or whatever it is?
She's got there's some rock and roll going on there. Rock music died and came back. It's not the same music as it was.
No, can't be.
Well, it has to be kind of. It's kind of like AC/DC is the father of modern rock, and that it's going to be about greasy and sexy and nasty, sexy stuff. Strippers and nasty stuff. It's not clean rock and roll about Kool-Aid. It's not fucking Kool-Aid. It can't be fucking the Beatles ever again. If there ever is a band, it's got to be a band that's still kind of nasty. If there's ever going to be a big Beatles type band that's rock and roll, it's got to be
Something's got to have to shock. It's got to shock, whatever it is.
but also be clean and nasty at the same time somehow.
Palatable, yeah. It's got to be those. What was that family?
Like the New
Boys
Kids
that
on the
did
Block type thing.
No, the Disney kids.
You're right. Baby.
Baby, baby. God, that was great stuff. Baby. God,
Commune family turns out to be a bunch of goddamn masochists, child based.
You think you're not gonna go after a steak?
Beating the fuck.
He's gonna
Making
show up.
Beating the shit
He's
out
gonna
of
show up again.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. On the set of Star Wars.
Huh?
On the set of Star Wars.
That was just so fucked up. You couldn't get any better. You want to feel some of our white foam? Man.
The fact that, okay, there are kids that didn't get to watch those programs, South Park, that when they're 14 years old, when their parents say, okay, it's not for until, and then when they watch that, and there's going to be people like this all the time that you're going to meet when they're adults. They say, I remember seeing that South Park episode, and I found out the glass ceiling broke on me. I didn't realize the world was that way. I thought the Jonas Brothers were the
Think about the
best.
minds that grow up with that and what they're going to write and turn into comics and TV and stuff, you know. And then there could be the kids that grow up on that bunch, and it's just going to fucking expand. Great stuff. Good stuff. Because, you know, I mean, like Owen, right? He's not watching that stuff yet. Well, probably he is, though.
Some people will let their kids watch stuff like that when they're young. Some kids can't. They won't get the actual humor of it until they're an adult.
Yeah.
Or an older, because you just don't. Well, it's like there's this thing they keep on saying. I hear people say things like they knew they were gay when they were. I'm going like, now I know some people have some kind of effeminate equality, but sexuality. You remember when you first felt sexual when you were about 11 or 12? Remember when when your testicles got hair on them when we were
Mm-hmm.
7th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Then you started noticing.
Sure, that's about when I knew for sure.
Well, like there's something about.
I knew that I wanted to get into the girls' bathroom really bad and watch them shower. I knew that was a big determining factor.
In the 6th grade,
I
you
knew
had
that the
sex
7th grade.
education
When
class.
I, you know, but hold it, Chris. See, I knew that at Boeing swimming pool.
Well,
I knew that I wanted to go into the girls'
there
room.
was a reason why the girls wore the bikinis at Boeing. I thought there was a specific reason why all of a sudden they got from there when they were like 12 years old, they didn't wear bikinis. They wore the one-piece bad baby. But when they were 13, they were wearing a bikini. And I was wondering how did they become women at that point? And they did. Now, you noticed all this. I mean, girls that used to be last year, these girls were some of them were kind of chubby. This year, they've gained. They're not chubby anymore. They're just a little bit taller. But all of a sudden, their hips are same size, but now they've got breasts. And you're looking at this and going, no, this is.
Wow, yeah.
I remember these guys talking about, did you notice in that school field? And I said, did I notice her? Yeah, I've always thought she was really cute. No, you didn't notice? She's wearing this.
No, it's like
she's wearing this.
South Park does that too.
Yeah, she's
We're
wearing
windy.
she was wearing a.
Peasant top.
No, it's just a sweater, but it was apparently revealing.
Mm.
Like one day, Mrs. Carr
Her
wore
nipples
leather
were sticking out.
fucking.
In other words.
Yeah. It's like, well, Terry George walked around that one day, I told you, with the
Yeah, mirrors on
mirror on
his
his
shoes.
shoe. And he stood there and grabbed me by the arm, and I walked over, and I don't remember what girl it was. It was either Cecil Sebring or it was also another girl's, but it was a popular girl, and she wasn't wearing any underwear. And so he's got that, and he kept on fucking, and he looked down and went like, and I thought, I don't remember if he got taken to the office for that or not, or if he got. I don't remember if anybody
That's one
from
of the things he
Roosevelt.
got caught for.
That was that's some strange stuff. That's some pretty interesting ideas. putting a mirror on your shoe and seeing if girls are wearing no underwear.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that.
That sounds like Chuck Berry more than like a 13-year-old. That's devious.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I wonder. Is he still alive? I wonder.
Well, I lost contact with a lot of people over the years.
Kevin Schultz.
Yeah, we would love to know about Kevin. One of my best friends. We had a lot of good times. That's where. Well, you know.
So that's it. Minute 43 right there where it starts dying away. So I'm wondering if you force those all so fast, let's find out what it does. Start at the beginning and see what it does. You don't have to have headphones on or anything, just go through it.
Yeah. Against the law. Just ask a cop about the pot. Against the law, not alcohol. The crash, it's a game, it's a crime. What a shame, do the time and go insane. People and Mary Jane, if you gotta feel the pain. Mary Jane.
You don't mean fast like
Well, I
that.
just thought I'd try to see if I could do that.
That would be a totally different way of doing it if you did it like that until the last one. Did Mary Jane last as a regular thing and then come in with the
Keep
guitar
on
back
doing.
then?
I was just seeing if I could ram that.
Yeah.
I didn't want. I know what you weren't saying for me to do that at all. I just saw that and I thought.
Good choice. I had it written that way, yeah.
Because I could. Maybe I want to build up to that.
Might be a good idea.
Dun, 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 dun,
And right at that point, bring the guitar in. Let's see what it sounds like. Try and do that. Try and do that. I think go ahead and start actually at that same point. Let me see this again. Because it does end with a Mary Jane. For Mary Jane can feel the pain. Yeah, do the tango insane. For Mary Jane can feel the pain. And when it comes to for Mary Jane, go ahead and back to the slow part. Start doing the slow verse, and we'll come in with the guitar on that. See where that's at. See where it's at on the time wise here.
Just ask a cop about the pot. It's law, not alcohol. The crying shame, it's a game, it's a crime, what a shame, to do the time and go insane. Mary Jane can feel the pain. A Mary Jane.
There you are. About 30 seconds, so it gives you a minute and a half to do some good guitar stuff. So go ahead and put the lyric on first. Let's go ahead and do it real quick.
Okay.
Do a scratch on there. You don't have to do. We don't have to turn off the recording or anything. Just do a scratch.
Oh yes. Just ask a cop about the pot. It's against the law, not alcohol. A crying shame, it's a game and time. With shame, it to the time it got good. Mary Jane.
Try again.
Yeah, something. Let's ask a cop about the pot. Against the law, not alcohol. A crying shame, it's a game, it's a crime, it's not what a shame.
You can do it until you get right to the microphone, huh? Let's hear it again, see if I can figure out a way to do it.
I was trying to, it kind of repeats itself, and I've got to figure
Okay, here's what you do.
I wish there was
Here's what you
more.
do.
I wish
Do
there
the
was more.
against the law and that alcohol. Just ask a cop about the pot. Go ahead and let the thing go past. Then just do these first two real fast, and then do the third one. You can take a break between the two, and do the third one, and then slow down. We'll start doing. You don't even have to slow down really, but you know what I'm saying. Take two lines.
I've already
break,
got.
2 lines break.
Worst part is I've already got. It's
A crying shame,
crime.
because it's a game.
Can't feel the pain.
Because it's a crime.
Just
That it's a game. It's a shame. It is a lot. There's a lot there.
No, it's not a lot there. It's not. There's not. I wouldn't. I don't. It's
Got a
not.
different way of phrasing it?
No, it's not just that. It's, I'm trying to figure. There's something that's.
Is there a lyric that we're leaving out of it? From the original?
I can't remember the original lyric that well, and I
Well, yeah, you didn't do it a whole bunch of times.
wrote it.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't one of the things that we did thousands of times. We only played it probably less than 100 times over your band, Spare Change, and everybody else, and us.
Yeah. Not only that, I'm just.
Including practices. Maybe 100 times. We knew what it was, so we didn't do it very many times because it got really boring for us.
Exactly.
Mary Jane can feel the pain. It's a shame. I remember that. I mean, but
Well, it's because it's actually supposed to be very short,
yeah.
because it's just a transitional piece.
Well, that's what this will be.
And
Very
that's
nice and
what,
short. But we got to figure out. Is there anything we're leaving out? Okay, what else rhymes with Jane?
Well, that isn't the. What is it I'm trying to. Alliterate.
I thought about the state. Hold it. See, try that one then. Put state in there instead of the game or the shame part. The last one. Is there a way we can put state in there? But see, it's playing word games and not playing. But we're just.
State. Plate. Negate.
Getting way too cute with the shit there. I'm kidding.
Well, the thing is that.
See, because I thought about the state. Can't leave the
okay,
state.
here's the problem. We can't leave the state. But here's the thing that I want. It was against the law, but here what I want to do is because we've got. I don't want to take it from our. I want to take it from our. This is a celebration of this. It's a
We
celebration.
could do it that way
It's what,
instead, yeah.
You know, was against the law. Just ask the cop about the pot. It was against the law. Now alcohol. Not alcohol.
That's true.
Not against the law.
It was against the law, though, yeah.
It was against the law.
Well, around the country, it's still against the law, so that's the only reason. That's
It's a
true.
crying shame.
We should make it.
It's
you're
a
right.
crying shame that it's a game. That it's a crime.
Not in the state.
In other states.
In other states. There you go. There you go.
Other states.
Scribble it out. Crying shame, it's a game. It's a crime in other states. That's really good.
States.
That's really good.
There you go. In other states. It's a crime in other states. You do the time.
See,
Don't go insane, because I already was going to use insane as part of one of the other rhymes. So the insane has to go. Do the time. because I already said crime.
Okay, it could be
time-
place and
Oh,
stuff.
states. Rhymes with states to bring back into Jane.
Place.
Do the time.
Can't pick the place.
So-
Time and the place.
Something about because we're here, we're free, and there they're fucking still putting them in prison. There's something that says that.
Do
You
the
know,
time can't relate? Do the time, don't hesitate.
To medicate.
Do the time, yeah, don't hesitate to medicate, yeah. I mean, you know, why not? That could end that rhyme, that bunch of rhymes there, and then do the Mary Jane, can't feel the pain. But yeah,
Hesitate.
don't
Hesitate.
don't hesitate to medicate.
I'm going to go hesitate to medicate. And if you're in prison, that's what you're going to have to do.
Yep.
You can't even write it. It's, hesitate
Well, you know, a long time ago I said,
to
you know, if everybody that was pro-marijuana would go up to the fucking courthouse on 420 and sit down on the front lawn and light up, they can't arrest everybody. And that's what we should do. I didn't say 420 back then, now I'll say 420.
See, now it doesn't rack my brain. It'll rack their brain. It'll rack their brain.
You know, guys, 420 coming up here. That means on 420, go down to your fucking local courthouse. If you're a pro-marijuana, and everybody that goes there, bring a joint, everybody fire up at once. They can't arrest everybody. Of course, now I'll get in trouble for inciting a riot, right?
If anybody's watching, might cause a whole bunch of trouble.
I figured Austin might be watching, but that's about it, probably. And then the dog, of course. You know, you change position more than an old man. I would know.
I hate saying it drives me insane because it doesn't make me insane.
No, it's not the pot that drives you insane. It's the fact that you got to play the stupid game. Doing the time because it makes you go insane. See, that's what I was thinking about. Do the time, go insane.
Mary Jane.
But it's got to fix. It's got to.
Can't you don't feel the pain. Don't feel the tension.
Well, in the scheme of quintology,
Well, the whole idea of quintology as a piece is that it was basically, I as a person, you discover this different thing about life. This thing is like alternative reality or whatever. Somewhere along the line, like you're reading a book about pot. You never heard about pot before. You never heard about drugs of any kind.
yeah.
And you go out and you find this,
Child's garden of grass.
and so you have to go out and find some pot, and that song Mary Jane come along.
Well, see, check about that.
But you go through all these trials and tribulations of
Get to
life.
chapter 13 is the dangers of marijuana. Page, blank page, turn it, getting busted.
That's very much like Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just a fucking bunch of blank pages and then something at the end where it just says
It's supposed
something.
to be Harry Howler's diaries.
Yeah.
And Harry Howler's work and all this stuff that Harry Howler wrote.
Yeah.
This bunch of blank pages. You've been reading for the whole book about this guy Harry Howler and what he had to say. Then the page says for madmen only.
Yep. That kind of gives you a clue to.
You know what? Maybe you should just fucking put this book back on the shelf right now.
Yeah. Okay, so but the second song was it? The second song was the LSD song.
That was the third, fourth song.
So this was the second one. Did it have any lyrics at all? 'Cause it was dun dun dun, right?
Yeah, originally it was Strychnine City.
Strychnine City. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but those are stupid lyrics.
Yeah, but it's actually an interesting concept.
Well, the fact that when you're taking acid and you get to this one point where you get that fucking queasiness.
And
You've
sometimes,
been up
yeah.
for a long time, usually because you've been
Yeah.
laughing a lot.
Yeah, see, I
And
was
you
drinking
real
all the time usually.
You're pretty fucking. You get, but you're laughing a whole bunch and you kind of get stomach ache.
Yes, yes.
And you realize, and sometimes you're like going. That's the point where you're kind of like going like, this is about time to come down.
Sometimes
and
that
and then you
your
get
teeth grind your teeth.
that, and it goes.
Yep, going again. What do you mean? You think you're gonna make the decision when you come down?
Here's the one. Here's the one that most people have. This is the worst part of it. And they're going. I don't think I should have taken that third hit.
Yeah. Welcome, my friend. You're back on that fucking roller coaster again.
Maybe I shouldn't take that. Sometimes though, with smoking pot, it can be.
Yep.
The first few times I remember smoking pot and really getting high, because the first I smoked pot probably 10 times before I really got off on it good.
Yeah.
And I remember what I remember.